I made a promise to myself that I would start creating YouTube videos because I'm feeling super demotivated in life in general. I don't know what I'm doing most of the time. To be honest, I have lost the passion for life. I've lost motivation. I've lost that sense of spark and inspiration that kind of kept me going before. Why not start something to actually just get out of that rut, I guess. Also, I'm sometimes looking over there, and I'm probably gonna keep doing this throughout the video because there's a mirror like right there, and to be honest, I find it a bit more comfortable to talk to myself in a mirror. I have an entire shelf full of books, most of which I haven't read, but some of which I have read and I really love. It's like a way to go back to my younger self who was actually a bit more excited and driven and motivated in life in general. I think right now I basically just need something new and exciting in my life, and in a weird way, looking back at all the books that I used to love when I was younger, I feel like it's going to bring back some of that excitement and nostalgia that I had before. So I have the books here. I'm just gonna go through it one by one. I am not a booktuber, so don't expect me to just post book videos all the time because I'm not going to be doing that. First one, I'm just picking these randomly. I'm not going to be giving any order to this. So yeah, first one is Normal People by Sally Rooney. I've marked this book quite a lot with lots of index notes which I used to put in a book whenever I found a quote that I really liked. I'm just gonna go to one just to see what the kind of thing that I used to find interesting. Look at this one. Multiple times he has tried writing his thoughts about Marianne down on paper in an effort to make sense of them. He is moved by a desire to describe in words exactly how she looks and speaks, her hair and clothing. And then it goes on to describe Marianne in extreme detail. This book is basically about the kind of unhealthy and toxic relationship between two teenagers just about to go to uni, and it's about the relationship. And in a way also about their thoughts and their internal worlds, I guess. It's very relatable if you are an angsty, anxious, sometimes lonely teenager or young person who just wants to be seen, wants to be loved, wants to be accepted, and who finds that in someone else. And I guess this quote that I just read just speaks to the heart of that. And I think the reason why it resonated with me so much is that at that time I really wanted someone to look at me in that way and to think about me in that way, and to kind of like, you know, just like notice all these like little things about me that I never thought they would notice. So yeah, that's one of my favorite books that I read when I was probably in my early 20s, like 2021, I can't remember. But yeah, it's very outdated now because all of these books are going to be outdated since, you know, I haven't been reading fiction in like 4 years. So hopefully you will still enjoy these books. Okay, next book that I really loved when I was around 16, 17, I think I read this book, is The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. Salinger? I don't know. I'm probably saying that wrong. But honestly, I don't fully remember what this book is about because it's been so long since I read it. I just remember it's about a boy. Again, young boy, teenage boy probably, in school, trying to go through life and dealing with his emotions and stuff. I remember the feeling that it gave me, feeling of comfort. It's also a classic book. If you are anything like me and you find books that are generally just following the protagonist's thoughts and internal feelings and way of looking at the world, if you find those kind of books interesting, then this is a good book. Next one is Where the Crawdads Sing, and this was quite a popular book when I think I was like 24. I want to say 23, 24. I read this. A movie came out as well. I have like two little quotes that I highlighted here. One of them is, she tracked them, mostly him, down the shore. Her mind looking one way, her desire the other. Her body watched Chase Andrews, not her heart. Wow. Yes. Okay, this one, if you were anywhere in the booktuber community in like 2022, I think 2021, 2022, you will know this book, A Little Life. This obviously is like a really big book and it's been described as one of the saddest books ever written. And it is. It follows like 4 different guys, but mainly one who basically just had like a really horrible past. I can't even remember if it is 4 guys. I think it is actually. Oh yeah, 4 classmates, yeah. For Classmates. This one was a really sad book, but also really... You won't understand what I mean now, but someday you will. The only trick of friendship, I think, is to find people who are better than you are. Not smarter, not cooler, but kinder and more generous and more forgiving. And then to appreciate them for what they can teach you. And to try to listen to them when they tell you something about yourself, no matter how bad or good it might be. And to trust them, which is the hardest thing of all, but the best as well. Next book is a favorite of mine, and it's called Stoner. This book is probably one of my top 10, maybe top 5 even, books of all time. And it's a book that was recommended to me by a colleague that I used to work with, and we had a very similar taste in music and books and films and TV shows. And so when he recommended this book to me, I basically got it immediately. Again, a lot of different quotes. But this book, it feels like sitting in front of a cozy fireplace while there is like rain outside, there's dim lighting, and you're just like curled up on a sofa, and maybe the person you love sitting next to you also reading a book. That's how his book feels. I honestly recommend this to anyone. Like, you don't even need to know what it's about in order to know that it's good. It's also a very sad book, by the way. I'm just gonna read you one of the quotes that I highlighted. Let me do another one. Listen to this quote. It's basically like what I was describing. Sometimes they would lift their eyes from their studies, smile at each other, and return to their reading. Sometimes Stoner would look up from his book and let his gaze rest upon the graceful curve of Catherine's back and upon the slender neck where a tendril of her hair always fell. Please, if you haven't read this book, just read it. This is just an incredible book. Okay, another favorite of mine. This, I think I read when I was still in school. I must have been like 16 or 17. To be honest, again, I don't remember what it's about that much. This is Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami, who is actually my favorite author. Again, it just has that feeling of kind of being in the protagonist's mind and seeing the world from their perspective. So yeah, if that intrigues you, then get it. This one is kind of, I feel like it's very obscure. I've never like really heard anyone speak about this book. I think it's quite old as well, and I can't even remember where I got it. This book is called The Sea of Tranquility by Katja Millet. Look at the cover, like the cover is incredible. Like, it's so good. Oh, I'm gonna read you a quote from the back of the book, actually. I live in a world without magic or miracles, a place where there are no clairvoyants or shapeshifters, no angels or superhuman boys to save you, a place where people die and music disintegrates and things suck. I'm pressed so hard against the earth by the weight of reality that some days I wonder how I'm still able to lift my feet to walk. Something tragic happened to the main character, Nastia. She moves to a new town, and she says she doesn't really want to get close to anyone, but there is a guy called Josh who is just as isolated as her, and obviously she wants to get close to him. But Josh, essentially everyone around him keeps dying, and so his name starts to be associated with death at the school that they're at. There's a bond that starts forming between them, like a very intense bond. This is a short summary of what the book is about. The Sea of Tranquility is a rich, intense, and brilliantly imagined story about a lonely boy, an emotionally fragile girl, and the miracle of second chances. That's one of my favorite books as well. Last but not least, for sure, my favorite book, which is actually a trilogy, so it's 3 books. I think it might be the only fiction book that I've reread, because I don't like rereading books. I don't know why people keep rereading books. Like, when I used to watch BookTube, there was just so many people that would like reread books, and I was like, why? Like, there's so many new books to read. But when I reread this book, I was like, oh, I see why. And that book is 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami. These are all 3 of them. This is like 1 and 2, and this is 3. I'm just going to read the description again because I'll probably do a bad job describing it. The year is 1Q84. This is the real world. There is no doubt about that. But in this world, there are 2 moons in the sky. In this world, the fates of 2 people, Tengo and Aomame, are closely intertwined. They are each in their own way doing something very dangerous, and in this world, there seems no way to save them both. Something extraordinary is starting. I don't know what it is about it, but it's kind of just like pulls you into this whole other world. No matter what is happening in your life, you can just get lost in the pages of this book. It is kind of like an escape, I would say. Sometimes you kind of just need that. You kind of just need something that is so different to your normal day-to-day reality to kind of pull you out of your mundane reality and to just like spark your curiosity again and to show you like what's possible. This is a very creative book, and I mean, Haruki Murakami is my favorite author for this book. I'm just going to read one of the quotes again. He felt as though his body had become lighter, that he had emerged from a cramped space and could now stretch his arms and legs freely. Air Chrysalis had probably stimulated something that had been deep inside him all along. He's writing this book and he starts to like feel alive again. Sometimes you need to just like do something and feel alive again, you know? Those are all of my favorite books from my late teens and early 20s. To be honest, I would actually reread all of these. If you've actually watched this video and you've made it this far, maybe leave a comment below and tell me if you've read any of these books and which ones were your favorites. Okay, bye.